It had been a hectic day. Katie discovered that sometimes you have to jump on a balloon 3 times before it pops. Orbie discovered that if you run a racing car down the banister, there's very little chance it's going to make it to the bottom. And they both discovered that if you dig and dig in the sandbox, you'll find a lot of earth, but you won't make it to China. The two best friends had been busy playing outside, and actually everything was going well. Until Arthur came over. Arthur lived down the street. Katie and Orbie didn't always like to play with Arthur. Arthur had a bad temper. This afternoon, things were going very well. In the sandbox, they had built a highway. Katie added an apartment building, and Orbie created a space station on the seat. Arthur built a mountain. It looked wonderful. But when the three friends decided to use the trucks and cars, trouble began. Katie reached for her favorite racing car. Andy had given it to her for her birthday. When she went to pick it up, she felt Arthur's hand squeeze around hers. She told Arthur it was her car and that there were lots of others to choose from. But Arthur just looked at Katie. He told her that he wanted the one in her hand. Katie turned to the highway and told Arthur there was one that was almost exactly the same on the grass. As Katie leaned over the sandbox, Arthur did a terrible thing. He smacked Katie on the arm. Katie couldn't believe it. Her arm stung, and to her surprise, she began to cry. Arthur grabbed the car he wanted and turned around to run away. He bumped right into Orbie, and I have to tell you that Orbie wasn't too happy about what Arthur had done. Orbie thought maybe he should just smack Arthur right now to show him how it feels. Orbie was very angry. Just as Orbie raised his hand, Mom called from the back door. Orbie stopped, and Arthur smiled. Mom came over and asked what happened. When the friends explained, Mom looked at each one in turn. She told them that she thought maybe friends would take better care of each other than that. Katie and Orbie looked down, but Arthur looked Mom right in the face. He didn't understand what he had done. That's when Mom had a really good idea. She took Arthur's hand and walked over to the steps. Katie and Orbie followed behind. Let's talk about what we do when we are really angry. Who wants to go first? Katie and Orbie put up their hands. Arthur didn't say anything. Mom asked Arthur to go first. Arthur wasn't sure what to do. Mom asked him to think about what he would do if Katie made him angry again. Mom watched carefully as Arthur thought. His face went red, and he raised his hand to smack Katie. Katie screamed, but Mom caught his hand and stopped him. Mom looked at Arthur. Katie looked at him, too. Orbie froze in midair. He was going to stop Arthur if Mom didn't. Mom told Arthur that he just hadn't found a very good way of getting angry. Arthur looked at Mom. He didn't realize that there might be another way. Mom asked Orbie what he would do. I should tell you that Orbie had to think for a minute because, until now, Orbie had never been angry. Orbie raced inside the house. In a moment, he was back with some paper. He jumped up and down and then crumbled the paper up and jumped on it. Then he took another piece of paper and ripped it right up. Katie giggled. I guess it was a bit funny, because really Orbie was making up things. Mom said that all the things that Orbie had done were very good ideas. Next, it was Katie's turn. Katie had been angry before, and she showed Mom what she liked to do best. She stamped her feet and shouted. Mom thought that this was a good way to express her feelings, too. Arthur looked at Katie. He thought it was noisy. He never shouted when he got angry. He never stamped his feet. He just smacked. Mom explained that smacking wasn't a very good idea. Arthur looked at Katie. It felt good when he did it. Mom said that it felt good because he was angry, but the problem was that the next time Katie and Orbie played outside, they wouldn't want Arthur to play with them. It's never all right to smack somebody. Nobody likes to be smacked. Arthur watched as Katie nodded her head. Mom was certainly right. Even now, Arthur didn't have a lot of friends. Mom thought that if words didn't work, then they would have to find something else that would show how he felt. This was where the fun began. All the friends and Mom decided that they would help Arthur find a better way to get angry. He tried stamping his feet. That didn't work. He tried smacking a tree. That hurt. He tried ripping up paper. That didn't work at all. He stood on the step and shouted as loud as he could. Katie and Orbie were surprised at how loud Arthur could shout. But still, Arthur wasn't satisfied. Mom studied Arthur for a moment. Maybe when Arthur smacked people, it wasn't only because he was angry, but because he wanted them to stop and listen to him. Mom had an idea. What if he just stood by the person who made him angry and smacked his hands together, really hard? Arthur thought that this was silly, but he tried it to be polite. At first, he just clapped his hands together. Mom made a not-quite motion with her hand. Arthur sighed and tried again. This time it was a loud clap. Mom thought Arthur wasn't remembering how angry he really was. Arthur thought about it, and when he remembered, he gave his hands a loud, sharp smack. Both Katie and Orbie jumped. Arthur smiled. Maybe that was it. He tried it again. Katie and Orbie tried it, too. It hurt Katie's hands, so she stopped. Mom asked Arthur to try this the next time he felt angry. Arthur promised he would. Later that day, they were drinking some juice. To Arthur, it looked like Orbie had the biggest glass. Arthur almost pushed Orbie, but then he remembered his promise. He moved back and smacked his hands. The glass froze in Orbie's hand. When Arthur explained, Orbie looked surprised. He put the glasses together. They were the same size. Arthur apologized, and everyone enjoyed the drink. Mom was so proud of Arthur for finding a better way. Soon, everybody liked him. He had learned about being a good friend. And do you know, I think it's a great idea to smack your hands instead of your friends, because friends are special, just like you.